Instagram, good morning everybody else on my Facebook group and my LinkedIn channel. I am just coming to make sure I can see all of the chat in all of these different places that I'm trying to keep up with at the moment. Good morning, Lisa. Nice to see you signing straight on. How is everybody doing? Today, I am covering the second part, my second pillar that I cover in my group program, The Core, which is, morning, Lisa, which is open at the moment for enrollment, and I'm taking on 25 people. We are already up to 14, I think. So if it's something you want to do after listening to this, you're thinking, yes, this is the kind of help that I need, please do drop me a direct message. It's a 12-week group program taking you through all the core essentials to building your business. So what we covered yesterday was looking at your ideal customer and why your ideal customer and knowing your ideal customer is super important. Now, today, what I wanted to talk to you about is, morning, Mary. What I wanted to talk to you about is creating packages and setting prices that get snapped up. If you have any questions at all during this, I've been having some really interesting conversations with people in the DMs about this. Please just stick them in the chat, in the comments, because then we can talk about them all together and I can answer your questions. There's no holds barred, no, oh no, I'll only tell you that inside the course. Like, I'm very happy to answer your questions so you can see the kind of help that I'm able to give you. This is a really interesting piece for me, and I've been actually doing quite a lot of research because I'm looking at reorganizing my own packages. I've been doing quite a lot of research into what other people offer, and there is quite a lot of, you need to do it like this, you should have this kind of offer, you should have this kind of package, you should have this kind of program mentality out there. I am not a big believer in that way of doing business and telling you what to do. What I do is very much a blend of mentoring and giving you advice and giving you, my experience of what I've done, but also being a coach there for you. Morning, Ellie. Being a coach there for you and enabling you and empowering you to make the decision. What's right for me? What is it that I want to put together? Morning, Lorraine. To make into an offer to sell people. This bit is really interesting to me. I didn't realize how many people were struggling with this bit until I did my quiz. If you haven't taken my quiz, then you should. It's vickyshilling.com/quiz. And it helps you identify what your biggest block is in your business. And I didn't realize that the biggest number of people that were answering that quiz were saying, I'm stuck on this bit. I'm stuck on, what do I sell? How do I package it up? How do I turn it into an offer that people say, yes, please, I really, really want that. So I wanted to just talk you through a kind of two-prong approach that I have to packaging up what it is that you do. And then I want to cover 3 mistakes people make then when you try and apply a price to your offer, because I know pricing is the other bit that everyone goes, how the hell do I do that? Again, if you've got any question about packaging things up or pricing it, then please, hi Anne-Marie, please let me know in the chat and we can have a talk about it. So the two-prong approach that I have then when it comes to creating a package, it's amazing to see how many people are logging on live to this one. The two-prong approach that I have when it comes to coming up with a package, I think you need to think about 2 different things. Like I say, there's not a right or wrong way to do this. There's not you need a 6-month program, you should have a 90-day program, you should have a group, you should have a membership. There's none of that. What we cover in the course is the pros and cons of all the different types of business model that there are. There's lots of different ways that you could work and help people. You could just work with people one-to-one. You could just work with them in group programs. You could just run a membership. You could just create digital products for them to buy. There's so many different ways that you can run your business. You can do a mix of all of those different things. There isn't a right or wrong way to do it. However, I think when you're thinking, what package should I be putting together? What is my offer? How do I help the world? How do I help my ideal customers now I know them? There's 2 things that you need to consider. Firstly, and most importantly, because it's really underlining and making sure that you are full of integrity practitioner, what gets people the best outcome? If you know your ideal customer, what is it? What toolkit do you need to put together? What length of time does that thing need to be? What kind of support needs to go into it that gets someone the outcome they want? The best way to think about this is to think about what is the testimonial that you want at the end of that program, that package, that course, whatever it is that you're selling? What do you want someone to say when they've downloaded that ebook or when they've come through working one-to-one with you? What do you want them to say? What do you want them to be, what would the ideal testimonial be on your website for that program? Think about that and think about what you want them to say, and then work backwards. I'm a massive fan of reverse engineering things. Work backwards and start to think, okay, well, what, in order for someone to get that kind of result, what is it? What toolkit is it I need to come up with? What do I need to put together in order to make that possible for them? Jenny's just leaving a comment on my Instagram. I really struggle with this. I want to offer longer term support that I feel my clients need, but other similar offers I've seen from other people are very high ticket. I'm not sure how to price. So Jenny, will come on to the pricing bit, but this is really interesting, isn't it? I'm really glad that you're saying I want to offer that longer term support, because I can see that's what helps people. That's what gets people the best results. And that is where we stay in integrity and we create something that we really believe in. Because if we're selling something just because someone else told us to do it, like I had a client who said, oh, another coach told me I have to have a 6-month program that costs $3,500 and it should do this and it should do that and they should be on payment plans. No, there's no should about it. If you feel really in alignment and in integrity that this is the best way to get that result. So for Jenny, they're helping people with baby reflux and with their sleep. She knows that the long-term support is what is actually going to get them the results that really change them. So that's what needs to be offered. And I know it's very easy to get sucked into what everybody else is doing, but how can I make that work for me? So this, like I said, this is two-pronged. Firstly, what gets people the best results? That needs to be your grounding for any package you come up with, any offer that you come out with, because ultimately, if you don't believe that that package, that offer is something that can help someone, then you're not going to believe in it, and then people aren't going to buy into it, and then you'll get stuck in this horrible cycle of not really selling anything and losing all your confidence. So you have to come up with, what do I think really changes people, really helps people? The second part of coming up with a package and offer, a way of working, is how do you like to work? Because that's really important too. And again, don't listen if someone's saying there's only one way to do it. You have to work with people one-to-one, or you have to run a group program, or you'll never scale if you can't do it this way. Think about what you like doing. And I've been listening a lot recently to podcasts and other coaches talking about values. What are your values? How do you like to work? How do you like to communicate? How do you think you can help people? Where are you in your element? What do you like doing? There's no point forcing yourself into a business model or coming up with a package or a program or an offer that you're like, I actually hate delivering this. It's really awful. Morning, Kate. You have to want to do the work. You have to feel excited to sign the clients up. I can't tell you how many people I see put out offers, don't really want to sell them, and then don't really push them, and then think, oh God, I must be rubbish at selling. I can't really do this. Nobody's buying it. It's because in our mind, we're like, actually, I don't really want anyone to sign up to this. I don't really want to work with anyone. I don't want to support them in this way. It's actually something I feel afraid of, or I don't like. It doesn't feel like my strength to work in this way. So when you come up with your package, there is no right or wrong. When you come up with your offers, it needs to be primarily what is the best, what gets the best outcome for your clients, and put that together. And then looking at, how do you like to work? What is your natural way? Kate is laughing at me. I feel seen. What is your natural way of helping people and playing to your strengths and your values? There's no point just doing it because you think everybody else is doing it, which leads me onto pricing. And Jenny, we will come back to your question because I know you were asking about this. And guys, if you've got any questions, I'm only going to be on for another 5 minutes about pricing. Please just let me know. I'm very happy to answer in the comments. People make big mistakes when it comes to pricing these things. So for example, Jenny there was saying, looking around at other people and what they offer when they offer that longer term support, it all looks quite high ticket. The first mistake that we make is that we price according to what everybody else seems to be pricing it at. Market research is useful. It's useful to have a little look around, but I really try and encourage you, when we go through this part in the program on the course, to say we do a little bit of market research, but we really try and do it from a completely neutral standpoint, and we don't attach any labels or any feelings. Like I say, I've been doing quite a lot of research into a new version of what I want to be bringing out next year. Oh my goodness, it does. It brings up all the feels, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, I'll never be as good as this. My page will never look as polished as that. I'll never have all those resources. I'm never as good on camera, whatever it is that comes up for us. So market research is vaguely useful, but we need to take ourselves a little bit out of that and try and stay quite neutral about what we're doing and looking at other people's prices. The reason that there is no point looking at what someone else is pricing it is because you don't know the full story of their business. Remember, we always say that with social media anyway. We look at people and we think, oh God, well, they must have it all sorted. They must be doing really well. They look really glamorous. They've got a fabulous family life. We don't ever know the full story. And it's the same when you see the price on someone's website. You don't know if they're selling anything at that level. You don't know if they feel undervalued at that level. You don't know if someone is bankrolling them and is, making them feel like they can price at any level and they don't really care. They don't really need to make money. You have no idea about the full picture of their business and how it fits in. Some people will sell things at a bit of a loss leader in order to upsell something else. You need to only come back and tune into what you are doing. So it's vaguely useful to have a look. And Jenny, I know you're saying you're having a look at what other people are doing. It's useful to see what other people are doing, but really you need to come back and look at what do I want, what do I think I need to price it at, and do your own maths. The second part of this is looking at pricing on, I am going to come back to your question that's just come in as well. Second part of pricing, second mistake people make with pricing is basing it then on what you think people can afford. So Jenny's example there was, I'm looking at everybody else's long-term support packages and I don't, they seem very expensive. What we end up doing is applying all our own money stories. And hello, we all have money stories. We apply all our own thinking, oh, people can't afford that. Oh, we're at the end of a pandemic. People are out of furlough. Everyone's losing their jobs. Oh my goodness, it's, no one's ever going to pay this. We have to, in the kindest way possible, let go of worrying what money people have in the bank. And that is not to say we don't care about their situations, but your job is to show up and to help people solve the problem that they have. Jenny is solving people's problems with babies with reflux and with their sleep. That is the problem. You will put together a package and a price, and then they will decide if you are the right person and that is the outcome and the result that they want. And your job then is just to explain the value of what it is you do and how that can help them and what impact that's going to have. So we need to let go and stop worrying about how much money is in people's banks. We love them, we care about them, we're still altruistic people, but our job is just to focus on the problem that they're coming to us with. I'm going to come back to a few of those questions. Jenny saying, yes, thank you. What worries me is if I price lower, people might think it's lesser quality. Again, I think sometimes when we're in the industry, we are busy looking at lots of other people and we perhaps realize that other people aren't necessarily shopping around quite in the same way. And also remember, people will be looking at different things and making decisions not just on price. I know we always sometimes feel like the only thing people are doing is shopping around and looking at price, but they're going to weigh it up with all the other things. And if you are getting your messaging right, like we talked about yesterday, knowing who the customer is, saying the right things, feeling like you're always there and you're the person that they know, like, and trust, then sometimes the price doesn't become the bit that they're worried about. They feel really invested in you and your support. I'm just going to come back to some of the other questions that were coming in on Instagram. Morning, lovely. I'd love to know what kind of courses or accreditation you need in order to help people with their well-being, mental health for insurance purposes. I want to do the right thing. I know insurance can be a boring topic, but I sincerely want to give people the best and safest service possible, for which I am able to give. That is a great question, and one that I don't have a definitive answer to. It will depend what country you're in and what your scope is of how you can help. I certainly know with the world of nutrition, there's certain things that are within your scope of practice that you can help people with, and there are certain things that you cannot give advice on and you cannot stretch to. The best thing to do, Beth, is come into my free Facebook group and ask other people what qualifications they have got, because a few people have asked that before, and we've got some really, we've got 800 people in there now, and people can give you advice on what qualifications they got, what they thought was helpful. So you're right, being qualified and being someone who has the right experience to help people to get them that result, to put a package together and get the outcome that they want, is really, really important. So that is a really, really great question. So we're just coming back to these 3 points on the pricing, because I promised I wouldn't waffle on too long, and I'm almost at 15 minutes. Pricing then. Don't price only according to what everybody else is doing. Have a quick look, but remember it says nothing about you and what you're going to do. Secondly, don't price on what you think people can afford. We need to just completely let go of what we think people have in their banks, because actually we never know, and focus completely on we help solve this problem and get them to this outcome and this result. That's what we need to do. And thirdly, in order to do this, we need to do our maths. We need to do the basic maths of how many packages do I need to sell? How many one-to-one offers do I need to sell? How many group programs do I need to sell? How many digital ebooks, whatever it is, do I need to sell to make the income that I want to make? I cannot tell you the amount of people that don't do this maths. And part of the core, I have a calculator which helps you work out what your prices are going to be. If you have said in 2021, I want to make 20 grand doing this, so that I can see that I'm going to make some income and finally kick that part-time job or whatever it is, but you have no way, and you haven't broken it down into, okay, well, how many one-to-one clients do I need to actually make to bring that in? Or do I need to run a group program and get this many people in? You actually need to do the maths, not just, as has happened to me. I've been coaching people in a group program at one of the colleges, and a girl said, I've been working really hard for a whole year on promoting an ebook, and it's really good, and it's only costs 25 quid, and I barely, I've sold 2 in a whole year, and I just feel like giving up. And I said, why did you start with a digital ebook? And she said, because I looked around and I could see that's what a few other people were doing, and I thought that was the way to go. So again, that isn't doing the full picture. I'm sure if you look at other people, if they have successful businesses and profitable businesses, they're not just selling digital ebooks. If they are, they've probably got a huge amount of traffic going to their website, so they've paid for that, or a huge amount of advertising going to it, which none of us have when we get started. And actually what they probably have is a good upsell afterwards. Maybe you download the digital ebook and then a few emails come in later and they upsell you into something else. And that's where they're actually making their money. So don't ever look and think that that is the full picture of what people are doing. You need to do your maths. And that is what I help with during the course. Like I say, I have a calculator. We have a look at the different business models. We look at the goals and how to set them up and how to break them down. And it's something that I then continue to support people with in the membership, because I know that feels scary, especially when it comes to financials. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if you're watching this on the replay, if you've got any other questions. I've covered packaging. How do you come up with packages? 2-prong approach. What gets your clients the best results? And how do you like to work, and what feels in line with your values? And 3 pricing mistakes that you are making that I want you to stop immediately. Don't just price according to what everybody else is doing. Don't price based on what you think people can afford, and don't price unless you have done your math, your business maths. How many things do I need to sell? What income do I want to make? What does that actually look like? How many hours does that mean I'm actually going to be working in order to get the income that I want? You have to do that maths to actually know that it's going to be worth it, because if you haven't done the bigger picture, you're going to feel like, why the hell am I doing it like that? Poor girl, flogging her digital ebook, wondering, how is this ever going to make me sustainable money? It's not. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and talk about the next bit, which is, once you've created your wonderful package and you've priced it, how do we sell it and how do we feel good about selling? A lot of you have put the reminder on for this one. So I hope I will see you again 9 a.m. tomorrow to talk about selling, feeling good about selling, and some of the secrets, or not so secrets really, around doing that, that will help ease selling. If you are interested in joining the core, please drop me a direct message. Doors close on Sunday, and we start on the 11th of October to work through all of this step by step, holding your hands, answering all your questions, just like I'm doing now, every single week. And you will be finished by January with all of this core content. So drop into my DMs if you are interested in joining us, and I will see you. No worries, Beth. See you all soon.